Aloha and Mele Kalikimaka. I hope everyone is enjoying the holiday season. Well, I must have been an extra good boy this year because Open Box Santa has blessed us with an upgrade for 2025. It's the Sony A7CII. So we bid a fond aloha oi to the OG A7C and say aloha to the A7CII. The first thing I noticed when I picked this up was the build quality. I can't say definitively that they're manufactured differently, but this model feels a bit more solid than the original. And also, the viewfinder is much better than the original A7C. I know some people are saying that it's still crap, but when I looked through it for the first time, I thought it compared favorably to my Canon R8. So I looked up the specs to check. As you can see in the table, the A7C was released in September of 2020. Remembering back to 2020, I can't imagine anyone buying a new camera during that period. If you bought one back then, I mean, what were you taking pictures of? Your houseplants? Your gym crush doing Pilates on a group Zoom call? I'm genuinely curious. Please let me know in the comments. Anyway, the A7C viewfinder has 2.36 million dots, which is pretty standard even going into 2025. But the problem was that the magnification was so low at 0.59. This results in a tunnel effect, which I tried to describe here. A compounding factor is the low magnification. I didn't realize that it's only 0.51 times magnification. That's really low. Not only by today's standards, but also 2020 standards when the camera was released. The low magnification rate creates a perceptual problem where something is, say, 4 feet away from you in reality, but the viewfinder makes it appear much farther away. Honestly though, I'm struggling for compositions with this 24mm lens. I feel like I have to walk up so close to things to fill the frame. Also, the low magnification issue is exacerbating the problem. Things look like they're farther away in the viewfinder than they really are. 3 years and about 3,000 disposable face masks later, the A7C II was released with the same resolution but a much improved magnification rate. As suspected, these specs match the viewfinder specs of the Canon R8, which was released a few months prior. Interestingly, none of these EVS can compare to my current APS-C camera. Which is the Fuji X-T3. And this camera was released way back in September of 2018. Not only does it have a higher magnification rate, but it also has 1 million more dots. I can say that of all the cameras I own, the viewfinder in this X-T3 comes the closest to mimicking an optical viewfinder. So here are all three kind of in comparison. In the short time that I've been using the A7C II, I can tell that the human eye autofocus is also much improved. It can lock on at further distances, dark environments, and it is stickier. The original only had human and animal modes, but the C2 adds animal bird, and then just plain animal. It also has bird by itself, insect, car, train, and airplane. This is all due to the new AI autofocusing system. This is also the first Sony camera that I've had that has the new menu system, so you might have seen that earlier when we were looking at the subject detection modes. And also, this is the first Sony camera I've had that is fully touch enabled. So previous Sony cameras I've had, you could only use a touch to focus. There is a bump in sensor resolution to 33 megapixels, which is nice because that means in crop mode you can still produce 14 megapixel pictures. And I actually have that programmed here to the C1 button. So if you can see this little icon down there, that means that is in 1.5 crop mode. And that will allow you to use APS-C size lenses without having the vignetting. I find it most useful when I'm using my 70-200, and so if you punch in 1.5 times, it gives you that little bit of extra reach, and then again it produces about a 14 megapixel picture, which is fine for most social media. Well, I figure a new camera deserves a new lens. If you recall from my original A7C build, I had quite a time deciding on a lens. At the time, I had this to say about a 40mm focal length. I don't know what to think about the 40mm focal length. I wasn't sure if that was a compromise between a 35mm and a 50mm lens, or if it was a cop-out for people who couldn't commit. I have to say that since that original video, I have been intrigued by the 40mm focal length, in part due to the release of the Leica Q3-43. When the Q3-43 was released, I was curious why such an unusual focal length was used. I researched it a bit and read that the diagonal length of a camera sensor is the focal length that best approximates the human field of vision. For a full-frame sensor, the diagonal length is 43mm, thus the latest focal length for the Leica Q. Google AI summed it up like this. After handling the Sony 24mm f2.8 G lens, my first thought was to get the Sony 40mm 2.5 G, since it had the same fantastic build quality and features as the 24mm. However, it also has the same premium price tag. Since I just purchased the Tamron 28-75 f2.G2, I decided to try a lower end model. That's when I decided to purchase the Viltrox 40mm f2.5. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles that the Sony 40mm does, but it was $150 on sale, so I wasn't expecting it to. I think at this price point it represents an outstanding value. The mount and the body are metal with a smooth turning plastic focus ring. There's no weather sealing, but again, I didn't expect it at this price point. The only negative is that it comes with a very shallow plastic lens hood. Put that on now. It's so shallow, in fact, that I wonder if it'll block any stray light effectively. Also, trigger warning, I did wind up putting a UV filter on this lens because I didn't think the hood would provide much protection to the front element. Okay, let's see what it looks like on the camera. Okay, here we go. With this 40mm, you can see it's still pretty compact. So we're going to take out this lens and try it out in the field. Since it's the holiday season, I couldn't think of a better place to test this out than at the 40th anniversary of the Honolulu City Lights. Shoots! Talk about getting run over by Santa's reindeer. The Christmas trolley just ran the red light. Some caveats for this evening's photo walk. First, I'm exposing for the lights, not the people. I went the night before with 3 generations of my family, so I wasn't trying to take pictures of anyone. Second, I noticed the GoPro is exposing the scenery much brighter than it is in reality. Between displays, it's actually quite dark and you have to watch your footing. Also, the colors are very saturated in the video. Now, on the other hand, the colors in the pictures are a bit dull compared to what I'm seeing on my screen, even after editing the RAWs. I think this has to do with how iMovie imports the pictures. So bottom line, real life is somewhere between the GoPro footage and the pictures.
There's Rudolph.
What is this, Santa? With a trebuchet? Oh no, a catapult. Oh, there's a reindeer. Oh, there's, what's his name? Frosty. Yeah, I got.
That's cute, actually.
And then this is Santa in a fire truck. Hold on, I want to get a perspective of this. What about that?
The snowman. Can we go back to the snowman thing?
Yeah, I want to look at the trees. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I gotta get closer to. But look at the gingerbread. What are they doing? Are they like
Dancing.
Oh, I thought they were.
Trampoline.
Oh, I thought they were dunking their friend, like sacrificing him. Oh, cool. Yeah, it's not quite as wide. It's not quite as narrow as a 50, but you still have to back up quite a bit to get everything in. Oh.
Let's go better. Let's go better. Over there.
Oh no, I still have to back up.
Yeah, it's wide.
Here's an elf. Okay, maybe I can just get a picture of it. Oh. No, it's fine. Okay, let's go. I got a picture from back there. Just have to go so far back. Oh my gosh. Oh, you got that. Oh wow. Oh yeah, I gotta back up some more.
Big Christmas tree.
Oh yeah. Let me get a picture of that thing. A little bit. I'm way too close. I'm way too close with this lens. All right, here we go. For these big ones, I gotta get way back.
Over there, take it now.
Oh yeah. I'm looking at Santa with the tree in the background. You want to go back through the tunnel?
Yeah. And then let's go home.
Okay. Whoa. The upgrades from the original A7C are all welcome additions. In addition to the ones we've already discussed, I find the new front dial particularly useful. Altogether, there are now 4 dials on the camera body. The front and back dial, the formerly dedicated exposure compensation dial is now customizable, and then there's the vertical dial on the camera back. This makes it very easy to shoot in manual since shutter speed, aperture, ISO, and white balance can all be set using dials. The higher resolution results in very sharp, more detailed pictures over the original's 24 megapixel sensor. Finally, the low light performance is incredible. The original photos show no noise at all. This lens produces some of the sharpest pictures I've ever taken. If you look closely at the photos, you can see every single light bulb. Despite being a budget third-party lens, it focuses very quickly and accurately. Finally, the low light performance is fantastic. I didn't experience any focus hunting while using it this evening. Also, even with the cheap UV filter and light pointing directly into the lens, there was no flaring or stray reflections. Just a few oddities. First, A lot of the pictures had a green color cast. For now, I'm going to assume that it was from the grass and the green lights, but I'll keep an eye out for it in the future. Second, it seemed to me that either the camera or the lens had trouble recreating the color orange. No matter how I tweaked the raws, I couldn't bring out the color orange to match the lights. This is very odd, as I've never had a camera or lens or camera lens combination that had trouble reproducing a specific color. Finally, just an observation about composing. In the video you can hear me say several times that I need to back up to get the scene in frame. Last year I shot the lights with my 50mm, and I don't recall having to back up so much to compose the same shots. Anyway, not a deal breaker, but something that stood out in my mind as we were wrapping up the shoot. So what are the final verdicts? As far as the camera is concerned, am I satisfied with my purchase? Yes, absolutely. In particular because I was able to get an open box copy for $250 less than MSRP. Would I purchase the camera again? Yes, absolutely. In fact, if I had it within my budget, I've been so impressed with the A7C and the A7C II, I would definitely buy the A7CR. Finally, would I recommend this camera? Yes, I would. And in fact, I recommended it to my brother who is looking for a new camera this holiday season. As for the lens, am I satisfied with my purchase? Yes, absolutely. At this price point, it represents a tremendous value. And when I say that it was $150, I'm rounding up. I think it was actually like $142 or $3 plus tax. Would I purchase it again? Absolutely. Finally, would I recommend it to a friend? Absolutely, and without hesitation. Well, that's it. That's our quick review of the Sony A7C II and the Viltrox 40mm f2.5 lens. If you stuck around to the end of the video, thank you very much. I appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to drop a like and share it. If you have any questions or comments, please put them in the comment section below. Finally, make sure to subscribe for future content. Mahalo!